Mr. Ellis, you had some questions you wanted to ask of Mr. Diaz?
Yeah, both Mr. Diaz and Ms. Brown,
Can I clarify one thing?
Absolutely.
I believe that there was a mistake given for the entrance of the 125 plan. I believe I remember the board member Mary Stanton signing it. It was in 2004 when CBO Nishimori was here, and it was in our negotiations that it was established. So no, it wasn't under Mr. Stallings. I have a signature, a statement with your signature on it, given the IRC plan at that time. I just want to clear that up.
Is it in fact the case that your respective organizations were not advised, or pardon me, were advised of the change?
Advised, yes, and not given a chance to be a part of.
Okay.
We were told at the last health committee meeting that the finalists had been chosen, and this is what the district was going with. So there was no collaboration done. It was just done on the district's part, and we were just told that they had chosen this particular vendor.
And what was the reason given for failing to consult with you, as I assume has been past practice on these issues?
I know one thing that American Fidelity may have done. One incident during the summer, one person went out to a site, caused a little person to be upset. One incident has been blown out of proportion that I know of, that was brought to our attention. Anything else never came to our attention.
So you think the district has an issue with American Fidelity now?
We kind of believe that is.
We've been, can I ask a
question?
Dr. Barton, go right ahead.
We've been told that this change needs to be made quickly because time is running out. Were you aware of any problems with American Fidelity earlier than...
Until summer?
No,
summer.
we had very minimal problems with American Fidelity.
Okay.
We did not know there was a problem.
Okay.
This seems to be quite a convoluted issue. If I may clarify, what I seem to hear most is some deep concern about the process, not the end result.
Yes.
Am I accurate in that?
Yes, you are.
Thank you very much.
I just had a couple more questions, actually follow-up questions for Kemba, if you don't mind.
Kemba, did you want to respond to that?
I do.
Yeah.
I want to respond to a couple
That'll
of
be
things
fine.
regarding the when it's true in December of 2002. That's when the FSA was made available, but it was made available to non-represented people, and I believe AFLAC was the administrator. It wasn't until 2005 that American Fidelity took over the administration of the FSA, and that's when it was opened up to TALB and CSEA. So when I made that statement, American Fidelity didn't come on board until 2005.
Yeah, my question was, in your explanation for the steps that were taken, you talked about how you were concerned that these companies were coming out and visiting sites without proper clearance, and they were violating certain standards and basically soliciting too strongly on our campuses. But doesn't that I think the flyer that was discussed, was that actually sent out by your office, and did that actually say that you will get unsolicited calls on you at school sites?
The district does sponsor the 457 plan. The district does not sponsor the American Fidelity voluntary plans. That is the big distinction. These are plans with our name on it as a policy holder. There are plans. Morgan Stanley is our consultant that helps us with the plans. So we're legally bound to these plans. They're plans we sponsor. We do not sponsor any of the voluntary products American Fidelity sells. And what I want to emphasize to you and to CSEA and to TALB as well, they can continue to sign up through American Fidelity. TALB can continue to allow its people to sign up through the plan that they endorse. We're talking two different functions here. People can sign up with whatever company they want in the world for their voluntary products, or cancer to disability. These are not products the district sponsors or sells.
Why don't we sponsor them if we've been working with them for years?
Well, it hasn't come up. And in the committee, there
Is that
hasn't...
just a matter of the board voting to sponsor it?
No, I think it's a matter of reviewing and looking into that, and whether or not we want to commit district funds to doing that. And I'm saying we can't or we cannot. It just hasn't been a traditional part of our package. The benefits that are scoped out in our union agreements relate to health, dental, and vision. They don't relate to anything else. So I'm just suggesting that we have no authority to offer or to sponsor these products. We do sponsor the 457, and again, anyone can continue to sign up with American Fidelity, and I'm not sure I quite understand the force of the rejection, since it's still available to everyone.
I'm sorry, real
Dr.
quickly,
Barton.
one last...
Dr. Barton.
Just, I was going to agree with the chair that it seems to be a problem with the process as much as anything else. I've actually used the American Fidelity product, and I found it painless. I mean, there were brochures there when you went to sign up for the 125 plan. If you wanted it, fine. If you didn't, no one pushed anything. And I think most districts find that to be the case. So I'm a little surprised at what I'm hearing, that somehow they were pushing products, because that was not my experience in using it. So again, I'm concerned with the process, and it seems to me what we're hearing from a lot of people is the process itself has been soured pretty badly at this point.
Well, Dr. Barton, I want to just say again, and I understand your concern, and we don't typically do this. Our history has proven that we haven't. We've gone through the committee for everything, but in certain times we need to be able to have the ability and the right to make a decision. When that responsibility rests with administrative staff, and yes, TALB may get the complaints, and yes, CSCA may get the complaints, but when those complaints come to you, you look to the district to fix those problems. And we have to have the resources to fix. If we had had the time, we would have gone through the HPC, and they would have been included in the process. And our history proves that. But we simply didn't have that time.
But again, I'm not being confrontational. I simply don't understand why you didn't have the time. Why couldn't have this been started last August and say to the committee, we have a problem, or we believe we have a problem, and we should be looking at this and building consensus to make a change? Why was it made so abruptly?
Good question. During the summer, we had 4 major projects. One project was an extraordinary amount of time. We looked at, we let out medical, dental, and pharmacy RFPs. And so the broker and the committee had been working on that, and of course the broker and staff worked all of the summer on that. That's a huge project, and so we of course have limited resources through the broker and through my office. So that was a huge project we had during the summer. Another project we had during the summer is to renew the programs for '07. So we were working with the actuaries to get the rates. We're working with the insurance companies to get the renewal products, negotiating with them, and folding in the changes that were approved through the negotiations that concluded last school year. We spent a considerable amount of time. By the way, all of this ran through the committee. We spent a considerable amount of time working on the health benefits booklet that you all received. That was thoroughly a committee process. But again, that takes time. And then lastly, the huge project that we had to work on was preparing for open enrollment through the Ceridian services. That usually takes me anywhere from 120 to 90 days. So those are 4 huge projects we had to do that we couldn't get to the FSA before we did.